Major red flag spotted.
Hey guys, good morning and welcome back live on YouTube. This is a live stream of my trades. I'll go over my trades, my entry, exit, and what's hitting our scanners and exactly what I'm looking at throughout the day for my trades. I am
PI that's in Pinge shares. They are
just caught this one off.
seeing a
Major
nice
red
rise
flag
right
spotted.
now. Premarket up 17.5% to $90.55 a share, and they're trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q1 financial results and issued Q2 guidance above estimate.
BCTX, guys, first alerted at $6, $5.99 to be exact on our Find It First scanner. Hitting highs now $11.92. Very happy to say
BCTX.
That's BCTX is on watch
BCTX
today.
BCTX.
For anyone who's still in.
BCTX.
Profit BCTX.
BCTX.
News this morning. News is in chat.
BCTX.
We'll share the link for our live YouTube stream.
BCTX.
Q1 financial results and issued Q2 sales guidance.
Company announced it confirmed 100% resolution of long
BCTX.
That is Echo.
That's
Whiskey.
Bravo Charlie Tango X-ray.
BCTX.
TAL.
BCTX.
Tango Alpha Lima. TAL.
BCTX. BCTX.
BCTX is testing highs 1205.
BCTX.
Highs 1205. Now
BCTX.
Spiking. BCTX did have news this morning. News breakdown is
BCTX.
and getting this live stream shared in chat as well. Feel free to share this live stream, guys.
BCTX.
Interested in learning how we trade. I am green and profit protection mode is on. BCTX is the second trade of the day. BCTX and AREB, two trades today so far, both green. And just give me a second here, guys. We'll get the stream in chat.
AREB.
All right, guys, the live stream is now shared in chat. Feel free to share that with your fellow traders. No position for myself at this time. BCTX in out green, locked in my profit and watching for a possible setup on BCTX. And no position for myself at this time. Proud to say profit protection mode is on. Seeing resistance 1177, $12, and $12.50. We'll put the key levels in chat for BCTX.
BCTX.
Cluster of resistance for
BCTX.
1177, $12, and $12.50 are resistance levels for BCTX. No position for myself at this time. All out of all positions. Happy to say profit protection mode is on. Trading BCTX. You guys will notice on the live stream, first alerted price for BCTX was $5.99. You can see that on our Find It First momentum scanner. I'll move the scanner around here so you can see this now. So Find It First momentum scanner, you can see BCTX was first alerted at $5.99 and now hitting highs, let's see, at $12.37. Impressive move, over 100% for BCTX and currently up still 100% on the day. In out green, locked in my profit, over 40% on the lotto for BCTX. Very happy to say profit protection mode is on.
BCTX.
Major red flag spotted.
WGRX naming a new CFO. Logistics.
And guys, for those in chat, just share this chart on BCTX. We'll share this in our stream as well. Going to pull this over for a second if you're watching the stream.
Whiskey Golf Romeo X-ray.
So BCTX, a lot of traders are wondering, how do I hold on to it for the full bulk of that move, right? How do I hold on to my position for
Shows
as
a
long as
sell
possible,
pulling
right?
back now.
BCTX gave us our first entry down here.
$10.38.
Let me pause this.
Still up about.
Focus. BCTX, you can see down here, gave us the signal. This was a signal here. We have our trend zone. We have our pivot zones. Closed above the pivot zone. This is a 10-second chart. So trading off of the scanners, this is going to help me mitigate risk. If it closes over a pivot zone, as you can see here, my stop loss is down here. So if we close over a pivot zone, anything below that pivot zone is where I'm stopping out. Staying above, great. Taking profit as I see it. As we pull up here, we're taking profit, then holding a lot of for continuation. You can see the first break of that trend zone's over here. So for anyone who got in on this type of entry, you're looking at roughly about 50% before it finally pulled back. Now, it's not the exact top of the move, and to get the exact top of the move, you're going to have to be Superman of trading. But that being said, 50% on this pullback, this is the exit here. This is the full trend exit here. We also have these red candles, so you can see these red candles here. This is showing that bearish momentum. So we have a strategy built into this, as well as a trend strategy built into this. You can see that trend and strategy here. Both right now are showing short sentiment, so we'll see if that triggers and starts to switch the other way. This is a 10-second chart, so very quick moving chart. And if you look at the 1-minute chart, you'll see something similar here as well. So 1-minute chart, we popped up. We gave it the pivot zone down here. You can see this pivot zone right in this area. And we popped up. So if getting in needs to stay above the pivot zone, okay, we're closing. We're hitting predetermined levels. We're taking profit. And now we're seeing these red candles, bearish momentum. So if we can get above 1177, we're watching for a continuation. Keep in mind we filled the gap to $12, whole dollar test. So 1177, $12, $12.50, those are our key levels. Seeing a 200-day EMA at 1281, and that's using the key level spotter. So all of these indicators are available at bullishboblive.com. But you guys can see there in the 10-second chart, very impressive move, and you can see how to stay into that trade as long as possible. So hopefully that helps. But again, anyone who's interested in getting these indicators, they are very specific, and they are for low float momentum trading with high volume. That's what we do. That's what we specialize in. You can find them at bullishboblive.com. That's our 1-minute Bullish Pivot Pro. I use it both on the 10-second chart and the 1-minute chart.
AREB.
And no position for myself this time. I appreciate it, Kamos. Hope you have a great night. And really appreciate your time. Appreciate your help in chat as well as always, Kamos. Always a huge help. Thank you. No position for myself at this time. Alert set BCTX. And let me make sure that the key levels are out. The key levels are out, guys. 1177, $12, and $12.50. The reason we have 3 key levels there, too, for anyone who's wondering why I listed 3 levels there. The reason for it, we have 3 major resistance levels. 1177 on the Pivot Pro. $12 is a mental whole dollar test. $12.50 is a half dollar test. So a half and whole is something we consider as mental levels. BCTX getting a small pop now. That's ticker BCTX. And again, for those trading with our indicators here, seeing Zena on the scanners as well now. ZENA. Getting a small pop. Zena, ZENA, getting a small pop, low volume. That's ZENA. We'll get a chart in chat.
BCTX.
BCTX getting a small pop.
Find
Zena.
it first scanner alert.
Pop now. ZENA. Pop now.
Zena.
Does have news this morning. Shared in chat. Thank you, Joey.
ZENA,
Moving on
Xenatex.
news. 260 highs, Zena, with low volume. No
Drone
position for
granted
myself. We'll sit out for the moment.
FAA Part 137 approval for agricultural drone operations. That's Zulu Echo November Alpha, ZENA.
Seeing low volume on our histogram for Zena, ZENA.
UNP,
And no
Union
position for
Pacific,
myself at this time.
reported
Xena getting a pop now. The highs 274. Still low volume, but picking up. That's Xena.
$2.70. The
Volume's
estimate
Xena.
on UNP was $2.75. So that's short revenue of $6.03 billion. The estimate $6.08 billion.
Oh, Natty,
So
thank
that's
you.
a
I'm
miss
sorry, I just saw that message.
for
Thank you so much. I
Union
appreciate
Pacific,
that.
United Uniform November pop-up.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't see your message.
BCTX.
Major red flag spotted.
Xena pulling back again, seeing low volume. And for those listening on YouTube, I'll share this with you guys as well. I'll pull this over. So this is the first chart that I look at, guys. And for anyone who's watching the stream here, you can see this. This is the first stream, or excuse me, first chart that I'm looking at here, and first things I'm looking at. Down below, we have the histogram, the volume histogram, dynamic volume histogram. This is going to be probably most important for my strategy because for me, my number one rule is no volume, no trade. Now, this is an exhaustion indicator. This is something that we're working on, so this is not available yet, but will be out soon. And this is just to really depict where the top of the move is. So we've got multiple strategies built into that, but disregard that for now. The key level spotter. So what you're seeing here is we're seeing lines and levels on the right. We're seeing the values. We're seeing the short watch level, the bounce watch level, right? So we've got a lot of things going on here. But most importantly, we're seeing that we have very low volume. You can see this yellow histogram bar here showing some volume, but it's on a pullback candle. Want to see high volume closing over our pivot zone. So once we have this pivot zone here, 274 resistance, you can see that clear as day right there. We want to see it close above that level. So that means I want to see this candle form, get volume, and close above this pivot zone. Once that happens, I use this pivot zone to aid me in entry and exit. My stop loss will be below the pivot zone, so it really helps me mitigate risk. So for me, I can get in over 274. I'll get back out if it starts to fail 265-ish, around that area, right? Again, the stop would be below that pivot zone, and target areas would be 296, $3 mental, 306. So these are going to be profit targets. So I'll take profit as we see it, and then I'll use the trend zone to really keep me in the trade as long as possible. So that's when I hold those lottos. But this is a 1-minute chart for Xena. Looking at the 10-second chart, you can see the same type of thing here. Very choppy, very low volume. So we're seeing choppy price action. The reason for it, low volume. Right?
Xena.
Low volume.
Xena.
Pick up on this.
Xena.
That's what we want to see is Xena. So you can see right here, we're picking up, testing resistance now around 274. Close above this 274 is worth watching. Looking at the trend IQ, though, we do have resistance through 542. So expecting choppy price action through 542, something we want to be aware of. So that means the confirmation key zone is all the way up here. You can see that right there. That's our confirmation key zone is at 542 and 561. So this is the area we want to see it squeeze through. That's going to give us that potential squeeze type of momentum. Until we get to that level, this is going to be very high risk. And this is going to be something that I want to mitigate risk by trading smaller size or choosing to avoid. Now, volume down below, you can see on the histogram, it is picking up. That's great. That's what we want to see. However, we want to see it closing above our pivot zone. So use the volume in conjunction with our strategy. Right now, the trend is long, but the strategy is bearish. So I'd like to see these correlate with each other. So just a quick rundown, guys, of how I approach the market, and hopefully that helps. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, bullishboblive.com. And again, these indicators that we're using are built in-house. My son and myself build these indicators specifically for the strategies we've been doing for years. So this is something that is very specific to what we do. Low float momentum, high volume type of trading, very similar to some of the other traders you'll see on YouTube. The only difference is I think that we are solely focused on risk mitigation, and maximizing profit is second. So yes, we do want to maximize profit, but we want to mitigate risk. That is number one when trading low float stocks, always.
P&G, Procter & Gamble, on their earnings call said, CFO says tariffs obviously put pressure on our cost structure. Premature to speculate what level of pricing we will see. That on their media call.
BCTX getting a small pop here. BCTX.
That's Papa Golf, PG.
Getting a small pop here around 1069. The high today was 1237. Would like to see it over 1177 for continuation. That's BCTX. No position for myself at this time.
Xena.
Ticker ZENA getting a small pop here. Xena getting a small pop.
BCTX.
And full news breakdown of Xena's news this morning is in chat if you need it. ZENA. This is bullish news. However, we are seeing recent resistance. So this is a good example, guys. Xena does have bullish news. However, it has not so much a bullish chart, right? So we're looking for that same setup. So we want to see the news. You know, that's one thing that we teach and advocate around here, guys, is that news is not necessarily what moves a stock. Now, news can have a major impact on a stock, and it can move a stock, but it's not necessarily what moves the stock price. What moves the stock price is going to be volume. So number one for us is going to be volume. We want to see volume paired with any of these moves. But if there's news that comes out, we don't just trade the news blindly, right? We are looking to pair that with volume to see the strength there. And the chart setup as well. And Xena is a good example. So it does have some volume here and starting to pick up. It does have some news, so I like that. However, the chart setup is showing a very high risk.
5 minutes remaining until the 8 a.m. late prints.
Because we have
monitor the bid and
resistance.
ask prices closely for the most accurate pricing information.
We have resistance all the way through $5 and $5.50 on Xena. So in other words, I'm expecting choppy price action. You've all heard of those bag holders, right? Bag holders are always on the positions. Bag holders are in on Xena, right? So the bag holders are looking to get out of their position. When they get out of their position, it's happening so fast that it's creating choppy price action. And that's something we just want to be aware of. So it doesn't mean it's untradeable. It just means that if we see choppy price action or if we see the conditions that are showing that type of setup, we just want to mitigate risk by trading smaller size, adjusting our stop level, or choosing to avoid to retain profit. So Xena does have news this morning. I do believe that the news sounds and seems bullish.
BCTX.
Major red
However,
flag
my
spotted.
opinion on the matter really doesn't matter. What matters is going to be the technical breakout that I'm looking for. We are technical traders. We are leaving the emotions at the door because that'll get us nowhere, guys. Want to stick to our strategy, stick to the rules set in place to keep us consistent. Ticker ZENA getting a small pop here, testing near highs. That's Xena, ZENA. The high today is 274, seeing recent highs through $5. Will expect choppy price action. ZENA does have news this morning, and news is looking bullish. However, the chart setup is not exactly ideal. So seeing a lower quality setup, can adjust if trading that setup, or can avoid. ZENA, watching.
Xena,
Ticker ZENA getting a pop here. ZENA
Xena,
getting a pop.
Xena,
Watching Xena for a possible trade and seeing a bullish vertical
Xena.
trend may sit out.
Xena, Xena,
ZENA
Xena.
getting a pop now, 284, and spiking here. ZENA getting a pop following news this morning. And seeing a bullish vertical trend doesn't mean it won't continue.
Xena,
296
Xena.
next major resistance. We'll sit out for the moment. No
Xena,
position.
Xena,
I am
Xena.
green this morning. BCTX and
Xena,
AREB looking to protect
Xena.
profit. Xena
Xena,
getting a pop now, 290
Xena,
with
Xena.
volume. Xena does have
Xena.
volume here. And getting a pop now,
Xena.
292. 296
Xena.
resistance, but
Xena.
a bullish vertical trend. That's a red flag to my strategy.
Xena,
Sitting out of Xena, no position for myself. Going to sit out, guys.
Xena, Xena,
I'll leave this one for a better setup.
Xena,
And just because I sit out, guys, and that's the thing for anyone who's listening on
Xena.
YouTube Live. Just because I buy
Xena.
doesn't mean you buy. Just because I sell doesn't mean you sell, right? That's not the point of this, guys. The point of
Xena.
this is to really teach my approach into low float trading and really
Xena.
give you guys an insight of how I trade. I've been trading for years, and this is something that I really love to do. But that being said, you can get in a lot of trouble if you just start trading without rules. So I do have strict rules. Sometimes I will be trading. Sometimes I'll trade smaller size. I'll try to let you guys know as much as possible before taking my trades. And again, that's the whole point of this. Xena, ZENA, 292 highs testing now with a bullish vertical trend. Now spiking 304, 305 on Xena,
Xena.
ZENA, spiking
Xena.
highs 305. Does have bullish news this morning.
Xena,
Not exactly
Xena.
the chart setup I'm
Xena.
looking for. However, we are getting a pop here. So for anyone who's
Xena.
in ZENA is
Xena.
getting a pop, needs to stay above at this point. Anything below 265 is considered bearish. Xena, ZENA hitting highs 305. No position for myself at this time. We'll sit out for the moment. Seeing support around 265. Anything below 265 is bearish. We'll sit out expecting choppy
Xena.
price
Major
action for
red
flag
ZENA.
BCTX,
Are here.
AREB.
Major red flag
Find it
spotted.
for scanner
This
alert.
might go a little wonky here for a second, guys. Just bear with me.
Xena, BCTX, NUW,
FCX, Freeport McMoran reporting.
MBLY.
For myself at this time.
Foxtrot Charlie X-ray. Waiting for their numbers.
CEP getting a pop. CEP.
Microflow
GPUS,
scanner alert.
GPUS.
Excuse me.
KAPA,
GPUS.
Kairos Pharma, out with a letter
GPUS.
to shareholders, Kilo Alpha Papa Alpha.
Microflow.
GPUS,
That's GPUS.
DV,
getting
double
pop now,
verify,
GPUS.
partners with IWF to drive greater
Putting a chart in
add.
chat for GPUS. Seeing recent highs through $5. Expecting choppy price action. That's GPUS.
ecosystem
getting a
safety
pop,
and strength
245.
initiatives. That's Delta Victor.
GPUS,
COTY, Cody commences next phase of transformation program to boost agility and scale while driving operational efficiency. That's Charlie Oscar Tango Yankee.
Find it for
ELAB.
scanner alert.
COTY.
GPUS charts in chat if you need it. GPUS. charts in
GPUS.
chat. No position for myself at the time. ELAB showing a large float. Disregard. We'll disregard ELAB, not
ELAB, ELAB, ELAB,
ELAB.
ELAB,
there's a discrepancy here,
ELAB,
guys.
ELAB.
North Drive
Both
Biosciences
sizes
announcing
inaccurate.
FDA
I'm
response
trading
supporting a
not sure.
submission of
ELAB,
IND for phase 2
ELAB,
clinical trial for
ELABUS.
EL22 in combination with
ELAB,
GLP-1 receptor
ELAB.
agonist for obesity treatment. That's Gulf Lima Alpha Papa, GLAP.
ELAB, 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 ELAB,
ELAB, Echo Lima Alpha Bravo, ELAB.
And showing a microflow, ELAB getting a pop there, 544. We'll get a chart in chat. Showing a microflow on TradingView.
Shares of ELAB spiking here, $5.44 on that news.
Ticker ELAB.
Echo Lima Alpha
Charts
Bravo.
in chat, 544 highs. And there is news, ELAB.
ELAB.
News is in chat for ELAB. News is in chat for ticker ELAB. And no position for myself at this time.
ELAB.
ELAB hitting highs 544 and pulling back. No position for myself at this time. And we'll send a breakdown of that news.
Freeport McMoran, FCX reported 24 cents. That is
showing bullish sentiment for
in
that
line.
News, ELAB.
That's actually a beat on the gap number for Foxtrot Charlie X-Ray. Q1 production in line with expectations. That's FCX, Foxtrot Charlie X-Ray. SAVE, Spirit Airlines announcing NYSE American listing approval, Sandy Alpha Victor Echo.
Yeah, guys, we're showing a low float on ELAB. Trade Ideas is showing the wrong float size here
Stock
for
currently
ELAB.
delisted. SAVE.
And we'll make a note of that and send it to him for an explanation.
ISTR, Tech unveils breakthrough study demonstrating 100% effectiveness, the first ever blockchain-based age-gating system for electronic nicotine delivery systems. That's ISPR.
AVT, AVT. AVT.
AVTE
AVT.
is late prints AVTE, no position. No position for myself at this time.
GPUS, 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 GPUS.
GPUS testing highs. That's GPUS.
AVTE.
AVT.
Major red flag spotted.
GPUS, 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 AVT.
BCTX.
GPUS, GPUS. GPUS. GPUS.
GPUS new highs 253 for GPUS.
AVT.
And no position for myself at this time, no position.
AREB.
BCTX.
Major red flag spotted.
Xena, 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 AVT, Xena, 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 Xena,
VIVS,
Xena,
VivoSim,
Xena,
announcing emergence from
Xena,
stealth mode to provide
Xena,
technologies for
Ticker
FDA.
ZENA getting a pop
Turn away
now.
from
Xena
animal
getting a
models.
pop
Xena,
now to high
That's
Xena.
408,
Victor India Victor
ZENA.
Sandy, VIVS. Shares moving higher than pulling back on that.
Xena,
Organovo Holdings.
Xena, 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 Xena,
Major red flag spotted.
And Xena, ZENA, hitting highs 319 and pulling back. No position for myself at this time. That's Xena, ZENA.
Xena,
Ticker ZENA is
BCTX.
testing your highs. ZENA. Watching for possible setup. I am green on the day, guys.
Xena,
Profit protection mode is on. BCTX. Major move
Xena,
this morning and caught the bulk of that move. BCTX.
Xena,
65% on my lotto for BCTX. Impressive move this
Xena.
morning. I am green on the day. Profit protection mode is on. And about time we've got a nice trade, right, guys? I mean, it's about time. We were due for one. We had one, I think, Monday, but we haven't had a huge move yet this week. We have had a few, a few pop and drops and a few stocks that have given us some signs of life, but not really the stretch that we had this morning on BCTX. That was a really impressive move. And that's what we're looking for. Often as we're trading these low float stocks, they can squeeze very quickly, and it's on us to mitigate risk. So we do have indicators that will aid in entry and exit and help eliminate the emotional side of trading. You can find that at bullishboblive.com for anyone who's listening in. Xena is on watch. This will be a high-risk type of setup. Our trend IQ is showing resistance through $5, and we'll expect choppy price action on ZENA. Watching for a possible trade. If trading the setup due to the conditions that are shown, I will trade smaller size, seeing resistance from 305 to 330.
Xena,
And for those in Discord, just let me know, guys, if the scans go down for some reason. The Voice channels are being a little wonky today, so just bear with me. I may not see it in the chat right away. Just tag me and I'll see it as soon as possible. Xena getting a pop now. ZENA getting a pop. 309. High today is 319 with resistance through 330.
Xena.
Appreciate it, Joey. Yeah, I just had to refresh the stream for whatever reason. It showed that it was down again. Usually I see it pretty quickly, but sometimes I'm in the middle of a trade, as you guys know. So if I am, just put it in the Discord and I'll try to fix it as soon as possible.
Xena
getting a pop here, testing resistance.
Xena
Cluster of resistance from $3 to 330. That's Xena, ZENA. No position for myself at this time. Xena does have news this morning. News is shared in chat.
PLTR Palantir making more highs now. Papa Lima Tango Romeo. PLTR.
And for anyone who's still in Xena, ZENA, if you're still in this position, needs to hold above 295. Anything below 295 is bearish. 295 is our cutoff. No position for myself at this time. Testing support now. 295 is support, guys, on Xena. Minor support. And testing major resistance above around 320. No position for myself at this time. ZENA is on watch for a high-risk type of setup. If trading Xena, will mitigate risk by trading smaller size and adjusting my stop level.
Xena
NVDA.
LRHC, La
NVDA.
Rosa Holdings, exclusive to Benzinga. La Rosa tells
NVDA.
Benzinga Company announcing authorization of stock buyback program to repurchase up to $500,000 of its outstanding shares of common stock on the open market. That's Lima
NVDA.
Romeo Hotel Charlie
NVDA.
LRHC.
NVDA. NVDA. NVDA.
GNPX, Genprex, selected to present trial design of a Claim 3 clinical trial evaluating Recorsa gene therapy in small cell lung cancer at ASCO meeting. That is Golf November Papa X-ray.
Xena
Ticker ZENA is testing just above support. Needs to stay above 295. Anything below 295 is considered bearish momentum. No position for myself at this time. We'll sit out for the moment.
Ticker TSLA. New highs.
TSLA.
Coming up at 8:30, jobless claims. Initial claims expecting
TSLA,
222,000. Continuing claims
TSLA.
1.88 million.
TSLA.
Durable goods orders for
TSLA.
March month over month expecting plus 2.1%. Core durable goods
TSLA.
plus 0.3%. Chicago Fed
TSLA.
National Activity also coming up at
TSLA.
8:30 a.m. Eastern Time
TSLA.
in about
TSLA.
13 minutes.
TSLA. NVDA. NVTX. NVDA. NVDA.
Seeing a small pop on ticker BCTX. That's BCTX, small pop. BCTX, the high today was 1237. For BCTX, 1237 is the high. Current price is 866. That is BCTX. I am green on BCTX, over 65% on the lotto this morning for BCTX. Quick scalp. Took the bulk of the profit, around 8%. Held the lotto and got 65% to squeeze out of that momentum play for BCTX. Profit protection mode is on. Huge win for us this morning. Green on AREB and green on BCTX, looking to retain that profit. So profit protection mode is on. Goal now is to protect profit throughout the remaining session.
Major red flag spotted.
NVDA. NVDA. NVDA.
So far
NVDA.
looks to be, looks like we're dodging a loss here on Zena, Z-E-N-A, so dodging that loss. So retaining profit is very important to me, guys. Green on BCTX, green on AREB, no trades on Zena.
Major red flag
News
spotted.
this morning, and the news is pretty good news here, but however, it's not showing the chart setup that I'm looking for just yet. So if trading Zena will mitigate risk, just knowing that it is not my A+ setup. BCTX, this was my best trade of the day so far, really best trade of the week on BCTX, and this one is currently testing $9. The high today was $12.37 for BCTX following news this morning. BCTX was first alerted on our Find It First scanner at $6, $5.99. You guys can see that on the scanners here. $5.99 was the first alerted price for BCTX.
TSLA.
You can see this.
TSLA. TSLA. TSLA.
I'll move the scanner around so you guys can see this.
TSLA.
BCTX first alerted on our Find It First momentum scanner at $5.99.
TSLA Tesla
and
at the
highs at
pre-market high now. Tango
12.37.
Sandy Lima
Very
Alpha.
impressive
TSLA.
movement for BCTX. Following news this morning. News is in
TSLA.
chat.
BCTX.
Major red flag spotted.
LRHC. Xena.
Ticker LRHC getting a pop. Penny stock. That's LRHC getting a pop here. We'll get a chart in chat. Penny stock moving. LRHC. Following news this morning. News is in chat. LRHC charts in chat. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on ticker LRHC. Ticker VIVS getting a small pop here. VIVS mentioned in chat by Aaron Hottie. We'll share this chart in chat. VIVS. VIVS charts in chat. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on VIVS.
BCTX.
Major red flag spotted.
Ticker VIVS is currently not tradable in Webull. For anyone who's trading with Webull, not tradable in Webull. That's VIVS. No position for myself.
AREB.
BCTX.
Major red flag spotted.
LRHC.
Ticker LRHC hitting highs at 15 cents. Cheap stock under $1 getting a pop. That's LRHC. Ticker LRHC. Penny stock moving here, hitting highs 17 cents following news. That's LRHC hitting highs 17 cents following news this morning.
LRHC shares hitting 17 cents at the high now. Following that benzene report, shares up about 90% on LRHC.
Xena.
Coming up, coming up, initial jobless claims 222,000 expected, continuing claims 1.88 million. Durable goods month over month for March plus 2.1% expected. Core durable goods plus 0.3% expected. Chicago Fed coming up also at 8:30 a.m. Durable goods 9.2% versus 2.1% month over month. Core durable goods flat versus plus 0.3%. Durables X defense plus
Find it first
10.4%
scanner alert.
versus plus 0.2% expected. Initial jobless claims
Ticker SIDU on the scanners. SIDU getting a small
222,000
pop.
in line.
SIDU.
Continuing claims
Getting a small pop
1.841
on
million
ticker
versus
SIDU.
1.881 million expected. Chicago Fed minus
Charts in chat.
0.03%.
SIDU charts in chat.
S&P futures moving just slightly higher. Again, big
Seeing some news here,
LRHC.
SIDU.
numbers on durable goods orders.
News is in chat. Getting a pop and drop so far. SIDU, no position. News is in chat for SIDU. Seeing low volume, no position for myself at this time. And recent resistance through 242. We'll expect choppy price action until we get above 250. That's SIDU. Charts in chat. News is in chat.
NVDA.
BEAT, Heartbeam, and Cardia announced strategic collaboration to advance cardiac monitoring innovation. That's Bravo Echo Alpha Tango.
Ticker LRHC. Penny stock hitting highs. That's LRHC. Hitting highs at 17 cents. LRHC. Penny stock moving after news this morning.
SURG, SurgePay launches nationwide on AT&T network with 250,000 SIMs shipped. That's San the Uniform Romeo Golf, SURG.
LRHC.
HALI, Halozyme sues Merck for patent infringement over subcutaneous Keytruda formulation. That's HALO and MRK. AMZE, Amaze.
Ticker ZENA getting a small pop. That's Xena, ZENA. Getting a small pop here. Xena, ZENA.
Said it filed in a 10-K that its audited financial statements contained an unqualified audit opinion from an independent registered public accounting firm, including an explanatory paragraph related to the
Xena.
company's ability to go on to continue as a going concern. That is Alpha Michael Zulu Echo AMZE.
Ticker LRHC, penny stock moving, testing highs here at 17 cents. That's LRHC, testing highs at 17 cents.
LRHC.
PLTR, Palantir, more highs now. Papa Lima Tango Romeo, PLTR.
Ticker LRHC, new highs at 18 cents. Penny stock moving, LRHC, hitting highs at 18 cents.
LRHC.
No position for myself at this time. I am green on the day, BCTX and AREB. Two stocks traded this morning. Proud to say profit protection mode is on and carrying over a cushion into our Thursday session. So a pretty good week so far. Not a huge week, but today I had a really nice win on BCTX, 65% on my lotto there. So it took the bulk of the profits, around 8%, and held a lotto for continuation. And we did get it on BCTX, squeezed up, and got 65% on the lotto. Very impressive move. No position for myself at this time, looking to protect my profit. If trading the
AREB.
setups that we have in front of us, seeing low quality type setups, so I want to make sure that I am focused on risk
LRHC.
mitigation first.
Ticker TSLA, new highs.
TSLA.
Ticker LRHC, penny stock hitting highs at 19 cents. That's LRHC, getting a pop and hitting highs at 19 cents.
TSLA. TSLA.
Xena,
Major red flag spotted.
NVDA. TSLA. 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 NVDA. 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 NVDA, TSLA, NVDA, TSLA, NVDA, 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 TSLA,
NVDA, NVIDIA moving to the highs now. NVIDIA shares at
TSLA,
103.48, November Victor Delta Alpha.
TSLA, 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 NVDA, BCTX,
Ticker BCTX getting a small pop. That's BCTX. BCTX, the high today was 1237
TSLA,
for BCTX. And no position for myself at this time. BCTX is getting a small pop.
TSLA, TSLA,
First
TSLA,
alerted at 599, hit a high of 1237. Very impressive move there, BCTX. Happy to catch that one this morning, just being prepared and sticking to the strategy. No position for myself at this time.
Find it
Logo.
first scanner alert.
LOBO on the scanners. That's ticker LOBO on the scanners. LOBO on the scanners here, getting a pop.
LRHC,
And getting a chart in chat for LOBO. Seeing low volume picking up. LOBO charts in chat. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on LOBO.
NVDA, 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 Xena,
LOBO getting a pop to highs now 95 cents following news. That's LOBO. And seeing resistance through $2. We'll expect choppy price action. LOBO. LOBO will have to close over. Let's see, 180 and 201 are the
NVDA,
two key levels.
NVDA,
LOBO, make sure to set alerts below key levels.
NVDA,
LOBO, key levels are out.
LRHC,
Back here in just a minute, guys. Back in just a few minutes.
Fed's Hammock says uncertainty is really weighing on businesses and their planning on CNBC. We don't know yet what uncertainty in trade policy will do yet to the economy. Doesn't have base case right now. Is looking at scenarios for the economy, lots of different scenarios ahead of the economy. Fed needs to be patient. It's too soon to change rates.
LRHC.
Hammock says seeing good things in hard data. So if the data is an issue, Fed will move quickly if it needs to. When it's clear where economy is going, the Fed will act, watches markets for their impact on the real economy. Said over recent weeks, markets clearly volatile but functional. Hammock said U.S. economy is very resilient. Hammock said with economy, many different paths lie ahead.
LRHC.
Cleveland Fed president speaking on CNBC.
BCTX. Hammock said Fed can move in June if data is clear about the economy's state. Xena.
Hammock says lower stocks, bonds, and dollar trade should be monitored.
LRHC.
AAL, American Airlines CFO, on their conference call said anticipates softest in domestic main cabin to continue. That's Alpha Lima.
LRHC.
Fed's Hammock said Fed will focus on data while making policy. Fed's Hammock said it's possible Trump's view on Fed chair could affect data.
BCTX. NVDA. Xena.
Ticker ZENA getting a small pop. That's ZENA. That's ticker ZENA getting a small pop. The high today was 319. We'll put a note in chat. 319 is the high. No position for myself at this time. Watching Zena, ZENA for a possible trade. Ticker AREB getting a small pop. That's AREB getting a small pop here with volume. The high today is 399. Current price is 356. That's AREB getting a small pop. No position for myself at this time. Just want to remain patient for my setup. I am green on the day. Profit protection mode is on. BCTX and AREB green on the day and looking to protect my profit. Looking for another setup here, guys. I do have a cushion built up, so I'm able to take lower quality type entries if I choose to. Just want to be aware of the conditions beforehand and focus on risk mitigation. Trading low float stocks. Our scanners will identify where the value is. Right now you can see the scanners, or here the scanners are very quiet, meaning there isn't a whole lot of value in the market at this time. So wait for the scanners to identify where is that value. We'll then use our indicators to aid in entry and exit and lean on our discipline and patience to stay consistent. No position for myself at this time.
BCTX Xena.
Xena,
Ticker ZENA getting a pop. That's Xena. ZENA getting a pop now. Seeing
NVDA.
a bullish vertical trend. And it is 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
XTIA, XTI Aerospace as national security leader, Preston Dunlap, the corporate advisory board. That's X-Ray Tango India Alpha. MDT, ABT, Medtronic advances Abbott CGM partnership with FDA submission of interoperable insulin pump. That's Michael Delta Tango Alpha Bravo Tango. TTEK, Tetra Tech awarded contract to provide advanced
AREB.
water treatment solutions in Florida. That's Tango Tango Echo Kilo, TTEK. RVSN, Rail Vision, naming a new CEO, David Ben David. That's Romeo Victor Sandy November.
Seeing a small pop again on AREB, getting a small pop. The high today is $3.99. Current price is $3.57. That's AREB, getting a small pop here with volume.
SDOT, Sadat Group announcing management services agreement between subsidiary Sadat Canada and Big Sky Milling, Sandy Delta Oscar Tango.
Ticker KWE on the scanners. That's KWE.
Find it first scanner alert.
COYA,
Pop on our
Koyo
scanners,
Therapeutics
KWE.
announcing interim results of investigator-initiated open-label study of low-dose IL-2 and
seeing the chart in chat.
CTLA-4LG combination.
KWE charts in chat, seeing low volume.
Treatment
no
in 5
position for myself.
patients
KWE, getting a small pop here.
Monitored frontotemporal dementia.
was
That's Charlie
halted.
Oscar Yankee Alpha.
And is now open for trading. That's KWE. Hitting high 687 and pulling back. And KWE still seeing low volume, getting a pop to high 687 and pulling back now 467. No position for myself at this time. Will remain patient for my setup. Green on the day thanks to AREB and BCTX, 2 stocks traded so far this morning, and green on the day, looking to protect that prop. And
BCTX.
coming into today's session with a cushion, guys, so able to take lower quality setups if I choose to. Of course, always looking for a high quality setup, but we don't always get the high quality setup that we're looking for. So trading what's in front of us and adjusting accordingly. No position for myself at this time. Ticker AREB. I'm green on AREB from this morning. It is getting a pop now. 374. The high today was 399 for AREB, getting a pop. And AREB is testing resistance from $3.83 to $4. That's AREB.
AREB.
Key levels out for COYA. Charts in chat as well. COYA getting a small pop with news this morning. Very low volume. No position for myself. We'll have to close over 829 resistance and 850. That's COYA. Setting alerts below $8.
EQ Equilium received FDA feedback on italizumab for AGVHD. That is Echo Quebec. FDA declines breakthrough therapy designation. That's EQ.
Ticker NRSN on the scanners. NRSN on the scanners getting a small pop. NRSN. Highs at $1.07. NRSN. Highs at $1.07. Getting a chart in chat. And seeing low volume. NRSN. NRSN news headline is in chat for NRSN.
AREB.
Benzinga market update. S&P futures up 0.25. The Dow futures down 115. Nasdaq is up 25.75 now. Crude is up 85 cents at $63.11. Natural gas is down 9 cents at $2.93. Gold is up 49.90 at 33.44. Bitcoin futures down 800 at 92,910.
All right, guys, we've got about 20 minutes until market open, just under 20 minutes. For those listening on YouTube Live, thank you for joining in our pre-market show. This is something that I do live every day in our Discord. I go into our voice channel around 7 a.m. Eastern time and trade live, going over my entries, my exits, my stop loss area, and my profit targets, all before the trade ever happens. So I like to go over everything as much as possible. This is the fastest way for me to be able to do that, is just by going over it real time. So if you guys want to join in on that, in our Discord live every day, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern time. You can find it at bullishboblive.com. I trade with our indicators. Our indicators are built in-house, very specific for the type of trading that we are attempting here. We are trading low float stocks with high volume, and this is going to be very choppy type of price action. So we want to make sure that we're focused on risk mitigation, number one. And this morning, working out really nicely for BCTX this morning. Went over, for those who are just joining us on YouTube Live, if you have a chance, rewatch this YouTube Live session at any point this week or this weekend, just a review. You'll see BCTX this morning had a really nice setup. We went over that earlier in chat. Now, this one I did trade before we went live. I was green on AREB and green on BCTX and have not taken a trade since BCTX. So I was watching ZENA for a possible setup, but as I mentioned, very low quality type of setups that I'm seeing right now. So could take these lower quality setups with a smaller size to mitigate risk, or could choose to avoid to retain profit. So far avoiding. NRXS on the scanners, NRXS, low volume, that's ticker NRXS. Getting a small pop with very low volume. We'll get a chart in chat for NRXS. No position for myself at this time. And for me, guys, I don't typically trade off of the scanners. If I'm trading off of the scanners, I'm using a 10-second chart to aid in entry and exit, and will be using my indicators to mitigate risk there. So if trading off of the scanner, which I rarely do, but if I trade off of the scanner, again, we'll be trading a 10-second chart.
Find it first scanner alert.
NAOV on the scanners, NAOV. Getting a pop on the scanners. That's ticker NAOV, very low volume. And getting a chart in chat. NAOV charts in chat. Feel free to compare your levels to mine on ticker NAOV. Getting a small pop. And not seeing any news from this morning for NAOV. Recently regained compliance with the NASDAQ. And no position for myself at this time. NAOV is a micro float. And seeing recent resistance through $16, we'll expect choppy price action. Ticker NAOV hit a high of 720, currently testing $7. That's NAOV, very low volume. No position for myself at this time, NAOV. Ticker SUNE on the scanners. SUNE on the scanners now. Getting some volume. SUNE soon. SUNE getting a pop here. Charts in chat for SUNE if you need it. SUNE charts in chat. And getting a small pop here for SUNE. I am seeing a news headline. Headlines in chat for SUNE. And getting a small pop to $3. Seeing recent highs through 460, expecting choppy price action. SUNE. No position for myself at this time. News is in chat for SUNE and showing bullish sentiment here. We are seeing a cluster of resistance and multiple pullbacks here on SUNE, so something to consider. We'll trade smaller size if trading this setup. Under 15 minutes until market open. Ticker SUNE testing highs at $3 following news this morning with low volume. That's SUNE getting a pop here, low volume and testing highs at $3. News is in chat for SUNE if you need it, and the news breakdown is in chat as well. Thank you, Joey. Appreciate that. Joey mentioned in chat, guys, had an offering on the 22nd for SUNE. It's a recent offering as well. And we're going to expect choppy price action. So if trading SUNE, will adjust my size and stop level accordingly. SUNE is showing a 3.3 million share float.
AREB.
Ticker AREB getting another volume pop here. AREB, the high today was $3.99. Small pop for AREB.
BCTX
is the high. BCTX continues to pop. BCTX. BCTX getting a small pop, testing 950. The high today was 1237. That's BCTX. The high was 1237. Currently testing resistance around 950. No position for myself at this time. Will remain patient for my setup. I am green on the day, guys. AREB and BCTX, two stocks traded. Proud to say profit protection mode is on. Caught a really nice trade on BCTX and took the bulk of that profit, around 8%. But then it's gapped up, held a lotto in case there was continuation, and sure enough, there was 65% on my lotto for BCTX. Very impressive move. The goal for today now is to retain that profit, not give it back. So I don't want to get caught over trading or oversizing in a lower quality type of setup. So if trading a lower quality setup, I will adjust my size and stop level, or can always choose to avoid to retain that profit. No position for myself at this time.
Ten minutes until market open.
Yes. Joey, great question there. Ask if I would consider AREB over $4. I think that's a great question. I would consider AREB, but one of the things that's factoring into that for me, Joey, is I'm green on the week and green on the day, so I have a cushion built up. So yes, I will consider AREB for possible squeeze plays. However, I am expecting choppy price action on AREB. In my opinion, I think we're going to see a lot of halts today, possibly in AREB, especially if we start to gap up at all. I think that it's going to be very risky to trade. So with that being said, of course, I want to keep it as tight as possible. So it's not my A+ setup, just to be very blunt about that. It is a very low quality type of setup. So right now I'm in profit protection mode. So really there's no reason for me to start to over trade. So if I start to take a couple small losses on lotto trades on AREB, I think that'll be it for me. I'll just chalk it up as, I'll move on, take my green for the day and move on. But again, that being said, it doesn't mean there's not a trade to be had there. I think it's very high risk over the 376 is our first key resistance on the 1 minute bullish pivot pro. Next is going to be, sitting around 383. The fact that we've already filled the gap back up to $4, that's concerning. I do believe, like I said, we're going to have very choppy price action. So not sure it's worth a full size. I think it's going to be something that I want to trade lotto size or maybe a quick scalp at best, then hold a lotto for continuation. If trading during the market hours, you can always trade with a hard stop to mitigate the risk a little bit further there and just stick to that stop loss plan. As I mentioned that earlier too, guys, I posted something in chat. And I'll post it again later, but just a quick rundown on bag holders and not becoming a bag holder. So sticking
Major
to
red
stop
flag
loss
spotted.
is so important. So if I get in, Joey, on AREB at the 376 level, my stop loss is going to be sitting around the bottom of that zone around 368. If I get in at the 383, my stop loss is going to sit around 374. If I get in at $4, it's going to a stop loss is going to be sitting around 390, 394. So I'm going to give it some room, but not a whole lot, maybe 10 cents, 20 cents at most. So really, again, just want to adjust the size accordingly based on the risk that's going to be associated with that trade. But that's my 2 cents anyway. And again, I'm in profit protection mode. I had a really nice trade this morning on BCTX, so I'm looking to keep
WST, West
profit,
Pharmaceutical
retain
Services,
the profit, not give it back.
says their
I
Q2
found in
adjusted
my
earnings
previous years
forecast
I have
is
gotten
$1.50 to
overtrading.
$1.50.
So last thing I want to do is overtrade and give it back. So hitting daily goals, I'm happy with that. So I could trade with that cushion and I could get some icing on the cake, or I could give back some profit. So either way, I want to make sure I'm focused on risk mitigation, number one. So hopefully that helps. Ticker EPSM getting a small pop. EPSM. That's ticker EPSM getting a small pop here with very low volume. The high was 790 from yesterday. We'll share a chart in chat. It's going to be half and whole dollar over $8. 715.8. That's for this.
WMT, Walmart
EPSM
China says
in
invites
China.
exporters to join their supply chain to help them expand domestic
EPSM
sales.
chart is in chat.
It says
Feel free
responding
compare
to
your levels
China's
to
call
mine
to
on
integrate the
EPSM. No
development of
position for
domestic and
myself.
foreign trade. That's Whiskey Michael Tango, WMT.
And we've got just over 5 minutes until market open.
Ticker
AREB.
SPY new highs.
SPY.
All right, for those listening in on YouTube, we'll be shutting down the stream in just a few minutes here. Market open at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. If you want to join in live every day from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern Time, sometimes later, sometimes sooner, you can feel free to join at bullishboblive.com. If you have any questions, reach out, and I'd be more than happy to help out. No position for myself at this time.
BCTX. GPRO. Xena.
EPSM getting a small pop with low volume near high. 680 is the high. That's EPSM. Will be half and whole dollar. Recent highs at 790. We'll have to close over 750 and $8. We'll put a note in chat. That's for EPSM. EPSM is worth watching. Close over scratch that, 750 and $8. Those are the key levels for EPSM half and whole. We'll put a note in chat. And that is high risk, guys, just so everyone is well aware of that. EPSM is going to be high risk. No position for myself at this time. We've got 3 minutes until market open. We'll be shutting down the YouTube stream here in just a minute. Thank you guys for joining in. We'll be live tomorrow at roughly around 7:30 to 8 a.m. Eastern time. If you want to join in earlier, we will be live at 7 a.m. Eastern time every day, Monday through Friday. You can find that at bullishboblive.com. It's in our Discord. And no position for myself going into market open. 2 stocks traded so far today, BCTX and AREB. I'm very selective with the way I trade, guys. I have a couple strategies that I stick to and looking to not really veer off that path too much. So for me, I'm very selective. I think yesterday I had probably 5 or 6 tickers traded by this time. Today, only 2. I think my best days typically are going to be usually like 3 or less when it comes to tickers traded. Usually, if it's a good day, you're going to know it quickly. And if it's not a very great day, we're going to have a lot of choppiness. So you'll see a lot of names hitting the scanners. Right now, I'm traded 2 stocks in profit protection motors on. BCTX was a huge move. Doesn't always happen that way, guys, but that's what we're prepared for. We're looking for those type of setups, and we're taking full advantage of it. We know exactly how to trade that. So using the trend indicator to stay in that trade in the lotto, and got myself 65% on that lotto. Very strong move. No position for myself at this time. We've got 2 minutes now until market open. All right, for those listening on YouTube, thank you for joining in today's session. I will be live tomorrow around 7:30 to 8 a.m. Eastern time, somewhere in that window. So feel free to join in, guys. I'll be live tomorrow going over my trades, my entry, my exit, my stop loss levels, my profit targets, all before the trade ever happens. So, and our scanners, of course, are top notch. They will identify where the value is in the market. These are trade idea scanners, very specific to the strategy that we're trading. But guys, thank you for joining in. Reach out anytime, bullishboblive.com. For those listening on Discord, we'll continue the stream here.